This is day 293 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, it'd be greatly appreciated. Please contact me directly. Today we're doing Siman Reish Daled Sif Zayin through Siman Reish Daled Sif Tez Vav. So yesterday we were talking about the Korah, which is either the fiber or the subparts of the palm tree. The shoots of of grapes, which are eaten when they are young. Also a shackle, not a daite the achila cloud. They're not planted in order to be eaten. I assume they're planted presumably to grow grapes. So to almonds when they are soft, and that you eat the outer shell. I guess you don't make a say that learn not to a dice and make a clock she's bashu, because the intent is to eat the surds, the seeds, the kernels when they become ripe. They're brachos also shako. Below dina boser. Every time we say this, we have to distinguish between this and boser. The boser ochlina peri. In boser, it's unripe, but that you're eating the fruit which eventually will be eaten when it ripens. As opposed to here, you're eating the husk. Not the inside, but people don't plant for the intent of eating the husk. If you eat the pods of peas or any other legume and they are still moist and soft, let's make a chocolate. Primary purpose is that the pods should become dry, and the legumes should become ripe. At that point, you can't eat the pods. But some say that this is talking about legumes that are planted out in the fields. But if they're planted in a vegetable garden, then in fact, where the intent is to eat some of the legumes when they're still soft. Then case you make on the pods also dama, just like on legumes themselves. Because they're planted for that purpose. Some those who say in that case when you eat the pods by themselves and make shahako. That seems to be the case. Even if you have a mind to eat them, and you planted them, they're only like the secondary edibles in the caper tree. Because primary intent is for the beans, not before the pods. That we should make a chocolate. The yotzim is a chuliyama because that is what yotzim for everybody. However, eaten together with the legumes, very often you have this edamame and such like. And that also covers the pods. The hemokitov, they are like subordinate to the beans. Ches, about chazis, shu shachas tvua. It's this unripe grain. It didn't even grow a third. Make a shakum because it's not completely grown. I forgot the prayers and brachmates. Hi, by bites, so we do make a bird creates. But chol peros, because happening with Siman Reish base, Yud Zayin. After my the kosher gadol shlish, if it has grown a third by grain, and I feel kiboser creates, it's not even parallel to boser by fruit. Right, unripe grain is called shachas, which is a language of something destructive. In other words, something which is not really fully edible. It's not considered to be actually grain. It says that this shachas is animal fodder. If it left that category of shachas, meaning grew more than a third, even if it's not fully ripe, we make a bracha of adama. I'm astounded he says in the Magen Avraham, who says by any pri adama, which is not completely ripened, you make shahako. Not true. Just like the unripe fruits, כמו כן בי פרי אדמה, so בי פרי אדמה לעניין שמברכים האדמה you make אדמה, ואין צורך אחד בין פרי העץ לפרי אדמה, there's no reason to make a distinction between fruit of the tree and fruit of the ground. No, why should we say such a thing? It says, the Machzitza Shekel says, Tamua. Why does the Turan Shlomo say that on Chazis, which evidently is in Chazis Shogina, the Chazis which grows in the garden, is Bar Priadama? Why is it mentioned that the Chaim Burj Shem Gemara Chaim goes to the Shem? And evidently that Chazis is a later Chazis, and therefore it would be Adama. The Mishnah Berurah, we're talking about that there is a distinction between Peretz and Adama, which would be a very big nafkamil ma'aseh if we ate a lot of unripe vegetables. But methinks that we eat very few unripe vegetables to me of it to be such a distinction. Sharatin also brings different opinions as to where this shachas, which grows in a vegetable garden, has a Bar Adama. Test. On a raw pumpkin or raw gourd, it's a type of gourd which normally eat raw, only cooked. Therefore you eat it raw. If you eat flour of barley or of wheat, you enjoy it, make a shackle. If you eat unground wheat and barley, but if you eat flour, where they completely change because in shackle, the bracha is shackle. It's not like olive oil. It's an upgrade to become olive oil. The upgrade is only complete when it comes to bread. Therefore they left the category of grain, and they're not in the category of bread. We don't know what kind of eating people do with flour. But their time, evidently they ate flour some way. He also says in brackets here, I like a jam. There you have the entire fruit, just that it's pulverized. And that's all the way it's eaten. As opposed to flour, which does not fulfill those criteria. Mr. Berurah writes that it's not just barley or wheat flour, the same thing applies to any of the 5 species of flours. So too on date beer, and on barley beer. Even though the ikar is the dates or the barley, but since it wants to come a beverage, it really is considered to be water. I'm not sure what kind of beer he's talking about here, but the Mishnah Berurah says that even if there's kazais p'chtechilas pras of grain in the beer, you only make a shackle in the every borough, I guess, of dates or barley in the beer. And I don't know, there are such beers with such solids in them, but it doesn't change the din. It's not like the soup in which the water in which you cook vegetables. The taste of the vegetables enters the water. But by beer, it's a different taste. Beer does not taste like dates or barley. Although I once had date beer, and certainly did not resemble barley beer. I don't remember exactly tastes like dates, but definitely had a strange taste. Anyway, also barley water, which you cook for a sick person. Since primary intent is for the water shakal make it shakal. It's not just you're making for a sick person. It's true for a well person as well. If you cook a dish of barley, your intent is not for the barley, but rather for the water. You just put a little barley in to give it a taste. This is not so prevalent. When you're cooking, we assume that your intent is for the barley. And then we make a barley name mazonos. We use barley b'simon reish ches. It's only by a sick person that you would only have mind the water. Of course, if the sick person also wants the barley, then mevarach barley name mazonos. Yurav, Kasma Tur Shem Arrived, Isvei de Dabre, grasses of the fields. Sheni Zroim, which are not planted. The Varchan Leo Shaka make a shaka on it. The Kem Name Zroim, since they're not planted, Lochashibe Pero at Kalashana. They're not considered to be fruit. That's the end of the quote from the Torah. This is what it means. Significant fruit. Even though they're not planted, they're not cultivated. Like our berries, or gozim, or nuts. Depending on what it is. But grasses, they have no significance at all. And they are not planted deliberately, they're not cultivated. And it's not included in fruit. We don't make adam of them, ela shako. L'chein al shatzovi, whatever it is, that's the custom. On grasses of wood, I guess things which grew wild, of wood, eitz, and of things which grew wild of the ground, hadama. Like al shel chashumin, maybe they did this on significant stuff, which not on the stuff which we have growing wild, which is not normally cultivated. The tamka showing chrein, horseradish, gankin godel also grows on its own. And we, again, Arukh HaShulchan said that you make shalach on it, I match kasu sofsi for sofsi marish gimel. V'daishan the kol batzvina shemalim shel borekas, the leaves of beets. Kankin barkum shako, you make a shako on them. Sharei ez yosem b'shalom. They're not planted for the leaves. You base od kasav, od kasvu. They wrote the shav lausta become mona because barta. The one of these is coriander. The stuff which goes into rye bread. That's shahako. B'achimar ba'alachos. The time of the day, the kol hani the time of avida. All these are made to give taste. L'achila. Interesting. Shav to mashkrein anise. Okay, that we know what it is. It tastes like licorice. The shav lauta who's korean patina. The kamona is kamashmo. The caraway. Kuzbarta hu oleander. I'm not sure if ever had oleander with spice. Akal Lashon Atur. Chamon hu kimmel. Okay, Arukh HaShulchan makes it clear. If you didn't understand before, Shavuot Kuzbarta lo lana. We don't know what those things are. Zesh bar subsim and reish based al bestomim ein mebarchim klal. That on spice they don't make a bracha. All zel nation mechil klal because they're not suitable to eat at all. Avol eruim mechil, but these are suitable to eat. Atam tov, and they have a good taste. El shalom nasu lekach. They're not made for that. If you're tzrichim bracha, they have a bracha, but the bracha is shahako. The Shabbat says if you cook anise, then you make on the water bar priyadoma, because that's its purpose to make a taste in a cooked dish. Sharatzion says also the same thing would be true about this the kimmel, the caraway, and the oleander. You give them a kosar bein says if you have vinegar which is mixed into water, shiroi lashti at the point that you can't drink it, but love shaka, make a shaka on it. Valchometz levado enamazi klum evar klum. If you have pure vinegar, you don't make a bracha because it's harmful. Because of that's their vinegar. Which are very strong. If anyone wishes to see a blood that is mine, they're not suitable to drink without a mixture of water. We also have a similar vinegar, which is brought from distance. You have shalosh cloud, can't drink it all. But our vinegar, it's suitable for drinking. Even without mixing in water. Make a shako. Evidently, they drank their vinegar. I think our vinegar is reduced to 5% acidity, but I don't know if that is the shear of the vinegar in the vinegar. In any event, I think our vinegar is considered to be drinkable. Any wine which is has the smell of vinegar but taste of wine, it's wine. But the opposite, even if the smells of wine but the taste is of vinegar, it's vinegar because the shahako and the bracha is shahako in that case. The general principle is kol shebnei adam nimnoim lishtosim. So anything which people refrain from eating because of its sourness, and mevarchen lo bar priya gofen, you don't make a bar priya gofen it, ela shahako. Really, the yain smukim shlona answer the dorim ele. Our raisin wine, back in the old country, doesn't require these parameters. Miyachis kakamot as soon as it's a little bit ruined, and because it's only at the borderline of wine in any event. Bialacha writes, since the name Magen Avraham, since we're not bucky in what's considered to be the tipping point, because some people drink, some people don't drink. Therefore, if you suffix, you should drink wine and be exempt the bracha rishona and achrona of the vinegar, and evidently he holds a wine vinegar is b'diavad a hagafen is going to be adequate to cover it. So you don't need a separate thing of shahakol. Yudalit shimei yain arim l'shasiyah wine dregs which are suitable to drink make a bar on them. Sharatina is not sure about this. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. Many people learn some by my bay. That's if you don't put a lot of water in it. I believe not some by my bay. Put a lot of water in it. If not sign shalosh midos mine, you put on 3 measures of water. But once arba midos and came out with 4 measures. So there's 1 measure of the actual wine. Have the kiyain most of it's like diluted wine. The maziga achat klas mayo because based on in their wines the dilution was 1 to 3 parts. Make a very big government. If it says that, in other words, there's more water than that. It's just like gives a taste to the water. Even though it has a taste of wine, it's not going to be wine. And make a shahakol. But that was their wines once upon a time, which are strong. But our wines, which are not so strong, even a ratio of 3 to 1. You don't make a very given there because you go by the measure of dilution in that place. It should be no less than 1/6 wine. Because if it's more than less than 1/6 wine, it's definitely batel. That raisin wine in northern Lithuania and in Belarus actually, they are not suitable to dilute at all. My miscalculated with just a little bit of water, they ruin ubracha and shahakol, and the bracha on them is shahakol. Mr. Gur writes that if it's not the proper measure, then the bracha afterwards is also brain of fashos, which makes sense. Tesla, but the Ramah is astonishing. For the how can the Ramah say 1/6? But even their wine, which is very strong, it has to be at least 1/4 wine. Certainly that should be the case of our wine. How can you say 1/6? Levush does not bring down this Ramah Lalacha. Mr. Burr writes that the shir that Mechaber writes 1 to 3 is specifically by dregs, because the moisture of the wine which comes dregs is not so chashuv. But wine itself, which comes directly from crushed grapes, if you put upon them water even more than 3 to 1, but even 5 to 1, then it is also absolute wine. Back to the Arukh HaShulchan. For easy kaso Hashem Mariel, the Mariel says, if the wine is more than one out of 6, we go after the taste. If this water is worthy of drinking by such a great dilution, people drink it as wine, or instead of wine, through this dilution. That's okay. It's still wine. It's just like the kind of not a full endorsement. What does it mean by it's ready to drink? You can drink it anyway. So what? It's like grape soda. Must be that it means that it's worthy of drinking like wine. I was there to say more, but this is also astonishing. More astonishing. Lishma shaykh is such a concept lishma by drinking l'shem yain. My mind is just l'shem yain came l'shem yain. What does it make that he's drinking for the purpose of wine? If it's not wine, and we'll have to see his resolution tomorrow.